5 reasons why your solar ads are not working. Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. My name is Ivan, and in today's video, I'm giving you the 5 reasons why your campaigns are not working. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so you don't miss any of the future uploads. Now, I've decided to start making more lead generation content because I get that most of my questions are around lead gen. And so I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So if you are subscribed to the channel, guarantee you there's a lot of goodies coming your way. So without further ado, let's get right into the 5 reasons. The first reason why your ad's not working is because, now if we're talking about just Facebook ads or YouTube ads, obviously there will be a few discrepancies there, but in general, the first main reason why your ad is not working is because it's not getting people's attention. Because what happens when people are on Facebook? They just scroll recklessly. The thumb goes so fast that like they can't even see the post. In between cat and dogs videos, you have to stand out. And so it has to be an image that stands out, okay? It could either be native, a native picture looks something like this, or it could be something that is more colorful. All right. In that sense, you need to make people stop, because it doesn't matter. You could have the best copy, you could have the best headline and everything else. But if your image doesn't make people stop while they're scrolling on their phone, then it's as good as dead. So first of all, your ad needs to stop people from scrolling. It needs to get their attention fast, okay? So that might be one of the reasons why you're not getting enough attention. And Facebook tracks everything. They track the amount of time that you pay attention to a post. They track what posts you click on, what you don't click on, everything else. Not to mention they listen to what we're talking about on a daily basis. But the first thing is that image. So you have to make sure that the user experience is what Facebook or the platform of choice wants you to be. They want to retain their users on the platform. If your ad is not doing that, they're going to punish you by jacking up your cost per lead to where it doesn't make sense to stay on the platform and advertise. And that's their way of saying, hey dude, you got to fix up what you're doing. Otherwise, we're losing people here. It's a battle of attention, guys. Attention is the new oil of the 21st century. So if you didn't know that, I'm here to break it to you. Attention is everything, and they want to retain all their users to the platform. So the first thing being attention. So again, if your ad is not doing that, that means you got to fix what you're doing, and you have to change the video, you have to change the creative, whatever. But you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to stop people from scrolling. Number 2, your copy. Now, once you've made people stop, how good is your copy? Once they start reading it, what's their reaction? Did they read it all the way to the end? Did they stop and just keep scrolling? Like what it makes people do. Now, there's no cookie cutters. Some ad copies are longer than others. There's long form ad copies that work well. There's short form ad copies that work well. So you can't really tell, okay, well, I'm going to just go with short copies. In our experience, short copies work a little bit better if your ad is in a different angle. And that's the next thing I want to talk about is the angle. With the copy, you want to have an angle. Okay, which is, for example, you're going to talk about the net metering 3.0. If you're advertising in California, that they have a certain amount of time to make the switch in order to retain the benefits or have the benefits grandfathered in for the next 15 years. So the 3.0 net metering doesn't jack it up. Now, it could be that. It could be something completely different that you're talking about. Maybe it's something that you're offering outside of solar. So you have to have an angle. Okay, if you don't have that, you might lose people from reading it. They might stop at some point and then not read to the very end. That's no good. You want people to read to the very end and obviously click. Now, I'm not saying every single person who clicks is going to read it, because people don't do that, but you're going to want to make people read your copy and stay on the ad as long as possible. Number 3 is the headline. If your headline is not something outrageous and something to do with them, then it's not gonna work. And headline, it's not just where it says headline if you're building the ad. Headline can go into 3 spots. It can go to the actual headline, it can go to the image or the creative or the video, and it could also go up to the top line of your ad copy. So you can have 3 headlines that are there to get people's attention. Once the creative has done its job from stopping people from scrolling, then the next thing is obviously the headline and then the copy. With the headline, you want to get people's attention so fast, you want to make them read more. Headline could be a question at the top. Headline could be a fact that you're stating in the creative. And then at the very bottom, maybe you could point it out who this ad is for. So you can have 3 small headlines along the ad to grab people's attention, and and to make them want to read more and take action, which is to get them to click on your ad and move on to the next step. Now, number 4 is asking too many questions on the form. Doesn't matter if you're doing lead forms or you're doing a landing page with a quiz or send people straight to a quiz. That usually doesn't work very well, by the way, but it doesn't matter what the situation is. If you send people to a quiz and then the ad obviously has done its job to make people click, which is what the ad is there for, then the next step of the process is to collect their information. So if you're asking way too many questions beyond what you actually need to talk to somebody, then you can have a massive fallout and you're leaving a lot of money on the table like that, because a lot of people are going to abandon the quiz and not going to fill it all the way to the end, and that's no good. You want to make it as easy as possible for people to fill out the form or the quiz. You want to ask them the generic information, which is name, email, phone number, address. Obviously, you want to make sure that they're paying over $100 a month. Also, you can ask them the credit score. That's it. You don't want to ask anything else outside of that. If you're asking more questions than that, you're risking a potential percentage of that audience that goes from the ad to the quiz to fall out, and you lose the opportunity to ever speak to those people. So you want to have the least amount of questions on the form, because the buyer intent, which you are looking for, is created in the ad, not in the quiz. Okay, got it? And last but not least, number 5 is the budget. Your budget for the campaign may be too low, so the ad's not doing anything. What do I mean by that? In my opinion, if you're spending less than $50 a day, that is no good, because what if your lead cost is $45, which is still considered all right in a lot of states. So if your lead cost is $45, $50, you can only get up to 1 lead a day. So that's no good. You have to be able to get at least 2 to 3 leads a day, less than a $50 budget. I know a lot of people spend like $20, $30. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, you might as well do something else. Like, don't run ads. Don't start with less than $50. We have a rule in our agency. We don't do anything below $100 when possible, because we want to get the data for the campaign as fast as possible and make the changes necessary in order to improve the performance if it needs to be improved, and then get as fast as possible to generating leads. So again, if your budget is less than $50 a day, you might be doing everything right, but in that portion of it, if you're spending $30, you're not going to get a very good result. You want to keep it 50 or above. All right, so let's recap it again. You have the image. Make sure that it stops people from scrolling. Next thing is the copy. You want to make sure that it's concise, but also informative. And not only that, it needs to do its job. Every single sentence needs to make you want to read the next line, so to speak. So the next thing, number 3, will be the headline. Then form, asking too many questions. If that's the case, cut it short. And number 5 will be setting the budget too low. And I want to give you one last thing as a bonus for staying all the way to the end, and that is your page. If you're running everything on Facebook and you're running everything off of a page that is brand new and is not warmed up, you may be doing everything else right, but because the page is brand new, your Facebook hasn't got trust in you and what you're offering, and so that's why the campaign performance might be hindered. So in that case, what you want to do is you want to post a lot for about a week or 2, and then also you want to spend about $30 to $50 in page likes, or spend $5 per post on boosting the post. And I suggest you do that so you can raise the page score so your ads performance isn't affected by it. That's it for today's video. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. And if you're curious about lead generation, if you want to be the god, if you want to become the god of lead generation, specifically for solar, we have something coming out soon, and right now you can grab it at pre-launch price. Check out the first link in the description below. And once you open the link, there'll be a landing page. You learn all about the course. Okay, guarantee you'll be the best lead generation course for solar you ever lay your hands on. That'll be the shameless plug for this video. Love you, and I'll see you again in the next one.